Hi! I know some of you guys might be wondering why it took me so long to produce this 1 billion XP video for you guys. Well, the truth of the matter is, I was having severe sore throat and flu for the past few days, so I couldn't talk about it despite hitting the 1 billion XP like around 2 weeks ago. And for me to condense 3 years of Pogo journey into just one video is a very tall challenge for me. But nevertheless, I'm gonna show you guys some screenshots, some pictures, and some videos that I've dug from all my hard drives to show you guys while I talk about it. So let's go to the day that I started playing Pokemon Go back on the 7th of August 2016. So yes, Singapore actually had Pokemon Go released to us here on the 6th of August 2016, but I started one day later. Truth of the matter is, I did not want to play Pokemon Go at all. In fact, on the day that it was released, I did not even know that Pokemon Go existed. It was my friends from Clash of Clans who actually got me to play Pokemon Go. They were trying to entice me to play the game, saying stuff like, "Brandon, don't you want to be the very best like no one ever was?" Then I was like, okay, so just to cut the story short, because this video is going to be very long if I tell you guys every single story. Yep, I played the game. I started to try out the game at 4 a.m. in the morning on the 7th of August. And when I downloaded the game, I was like, hey, wait, how do I play this game? Like, I don't see any Pokemon or Pokestops in my house. So I drove out of my house to go around to catch Pokemon. So after playing the game for an hour or so, I actually hit level 10. And then that's when it all started. I went from playing Clash of Clans to play Pokemon Go. I totally stopped playing Clash of Clans at that point of time, but as and when I was still like logging in the game to still play a bit here and there, but it was the time that I was so focused on Pokemon Go that I didn't even have much time to play Clash of Clans, let alone doing YouTube. So that was the time that I also stopped doing YouTube for Clash of Clans, and that was a pretty tough decision for me, to be honest. But all I can say is, well, I went on to hit level 40 after playing the game for 82 days. And those are some of the grind spots that I've been to, like Hougang 401 and also Vivo City, when I was grinding really, really hard to hit level 40. After playing the game for just 82 days and hitting level 40, I was quite happy with myself, because I did tell myself that doing around 330,000 XP per day at that point of time was a really good amount of XP. That's why I was able to hit level 40 that quickly. I didn't stop there, obviously, because I wanted to go and pursue something bigger. So I set bigger goals, like to hit 40 million XP, and then eventually, after changing my way of grinding and of course encouraging a lot of my friends to continue to grind even harder, we started to form a bigger community. Don't get me wrong though, there was already a community when I was playing the game back at Hougang 401 at that 4 Pokestops grind spot. I would actually have like tables and chairs set out for people at the playground to actually play the game. Around 20 senior citizens or friends would actually join me. So that was actually a fun time when I was enjoying myself with my friends and of course with the community at that point of time. We were just catching Pokemon, spinning Pokestops like many of you guys would have done so back in the days. And there weren't raids at all. There were no like legendary raids or any even Magic Cup raids to actually go after. And I didn't bother about gym at all. My main focus was just XP, catching Pokemon, going after Stardust, and I didn't even know about, IVs at that point of time. It was only after my friend explained to me how IVs work that I realized that there's more to this game than just, catching and catching and catching. So the thing was, the very first double XP that came was during the Thanksgiving event back on the 23rd of November 2016. So I was not in Singapore at that point of time. I was in Penang in Malaysia, and I only got back to Singapore on the 28th of November, 5 days after that event commenced. So I didn't play that event much. However, I was still able to do a total of like 10 million XP during that 1 week event. So it came to my realization that, hey, there could be times that Niantic is going to drop events like this. So I had to prepare all the candies, etc. and the Pokemon to evolve during the future events. So that's what I did. So after grinding a while at Vivo City, this grind spot is actually truly amazing. There's like a lot of spawns. The natural spawn there is just crazy. But the thing was, I was there from around October 2016 to around January 2017. I only came to realize that there was another better grind spot near my home. So that grind spot near my home is known as Marine Crescent. It's just 5 minutes drive away from where I stay, compared to going to Vivo City, which takes 20 minutes to drive there. Of course, I'd rather choose to go to Marine Crescent, as Marine Crescent we are able to catch around 20 to 25 PGs per hour versus catching at Vivo City where we were able to catch around 15 per hour only, 15 PGs per hour. So my prime target for XP at that point of time was just PGs, Widows, Caterpies, because all these Pokemon, they are 12 Candies evolution Pokemon, so to me, they are the best Pokemon to go after to catch to gain XP. So yes, from the start of the game till at this point of time, my focus was always XP. So I did go around to hunt for Pokemon like Snorlax, Dratini, etc. with my friends after hitting level 40 and some of them hitting level 40. I did try to encourage them to hit level 40 ASAP, as my target at that point of time was to help 20 of my friends to hit level 40, like motivating them, bringing them to the grind spots, asking them to push on, and also having them in my car to go around to car grind. So my daily schedule from January 2017 all the way to June 2017 was basically, I start my day off at 2 p.m. starting at Changi Village, this car grinding route that I'm going to show you guys right now. We will grind till around 6:30 p.m. and once we are done grinding at Changi Village till 6:30 p.m, we will make our way to Marine Crescent. So Marine Crescent, we will grind from around 7:30 after dinner, half an hour dinner, all the way to around 12:30 a.m. And then after 12:30 a.m, we will all be in my car. Whoever that's able to fit into my car will be in my car to car grind at Orchard, the central of Singapore, to actually replenish on balls until 6:30 a.m. So yes, we play from 2 p.m. in the afternoon to 6:30 a.m. in the morning every day. So that was my life. That was our life. That was our Pogo life for around half a year. Playing the game really that hard for so many hours every day, trying to go after a goal. Whether is it certain people trying to hit level 40 or some of them wanting to hit higher amount of XP after hitting level 40, and of course for myself at that point of time was trying to go for 100 million XP. So I managed to hit 100 million XP on the 8th of March, and 1 month after that there was the Extravaganza event where it was also a double XP event for that 1 week. So during that 1 week I went ham. I basically gained a total of 30 million XP during that 7 days, and I remember very clearly, I was doing so many evolutions for the first 3.5 days. Basically I was just gold blasting at the grind spot at the car grinding route at Anchorvale, which is located in the northeast of Singapore at Sengkang. I was just evolving like non-stop. I was gaining around 5 million XP per day for the first 3.5 days. Subsequently, it became like 4.5 million. It became 4 million for the next few days. So it was just insane. That was probably the hardest I've ever went in the game so far. And I had a friend from Taiwan named Zaz, who actually came over to play Pogo with us, and he also hit 100 million during that period, which was really cool. So 2 months after the April event, raids were released for tier 1 to tier 4, and that was the time that the game became even more fun, when I realized that hey, it's not really just about catching Pokemon. To be honest, I enjoy catching Pokemon the most. I enjoy grinding the most, but when raids were released, I realized that there was something even more that was more fun, which was to go around with my friends in a car to do raids together. It was really early on in the game, like during raids being released, that I already realized that hey, we could do this thing called tap and go. So it was only on the second day of raids being released, tier 1 to tier 4, that I found out that we could do tap and go. So that was just through experiment and trial and error that I realized that hey, we could actually just drive off right after the battle starts, and we decided to do that, and we realized that it would be more efficient to do that also. So that's how I learned about tap and go back before even legendary raids were released. So 1 month later, Go Fest Chicago was about to start, and to be honest, I did know about the announcement. I heard about the announcement about Go Fest, Chicago Go Fest 2017. However, I was a bit like on the fence whether I should go for it or not, because it was really far to fly over all the way to Chicago from Singapore. It's not just a 1 hour flight or 5 hours flight. Yeah, it's many hours flight. But nevertheless, I went for it. And the story of me going to Chicago Go Fest 2017 was just pretty crazy. I actually booked my flights to Chicago just 7 hours before the flight time. Yep, I made my decision that I was going to go to Chicago at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and the flight was at 9:30 p.m. at night. So I was only going to make it to Chicago Go Fest if I catch my flight that night and not the next day. If I were to miss the flight that night, I basically can just not go for the event anymore. But nevertheless, I had to do the necessary arrangements, and of course I had to get my ESTA. I had to expedite it to make it faster, make the process faster, so that I was able to get my ESTA, my visa, up and running for me to actually go to Chicago. And yep, I tweeted about it, I posted about it, and quite a few people got excited about it. That point of time, I didn't really bother about whether I got myself the ticket or not. Eventually, yes, I managed to get myself the ticket thanks to Reversal, who hooked me up with a ticket. And that was where I managed to meet Reversal for the very first time after knowing him for quite a few number of years from Clash of Clans, and also with Trainer Tips, with Mystic 7, and so many other awesome trainers whom I've met at Chicago Go Fest 2017. I would say that was the craziest thing in terms of traveling that I've done in my life. However, that was the best decision I've made also in terms of going for an event here in Pokemon Go. After going for Go Fest 2017 for the very first time, I've gone for events like Yokohama event, where I went there with my friends from Singapore, where we went there to get the very first Mewtwo from the Yokohama Stadium. It was a very, 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 very fruitful and awesome experience, I must say, not just going there with my friends, but also being able to play Pokemon Go in Japan for the very first time. So that was where I managed to meet some of the top players, like even Kuboyen, whom till today we are still really good friends, and we do hang around with each other from time to time. Of course, online, just Twitter, talking to each other, etc. But back to Chicago 2017 in July, when legendary raids were also released. So the very first legendary raid that was released was Lugia together with Articuno, and yeah, there were so many people at the raid at Chicago Go Fest at Buckingham Fountain. That was the very first legendary raid that occurred in the world. Buckingham Fountain, next to the place that Go Fest was being held at. It was a good experience, but also a bad experience. The good experience was the fact that, I get to see so many people getting excited over a legendary raid, and it was very exciting for myself also. But the bad thing was the network was crap. Yeah, the network was so crappy that a lot of people couldn't do the raid. I didn't even take the Lugia down. And yeah, I tried again and again and again. Eventually, I gave up and I went to other gyms to try to take down the other legendary raids. But yeah, that was when it all started, because, whenever we do a legendary raid, we are getting 20,000 XP per raid with Lucky Egg. So, yep, I decided to go ham on legendary raids, not just because of the XP, but I know that a lot of my friends want to go after legendary Pokemon, together with the fact that they want to get perfect legendary Pokemon 100% IVs. That's why I was going crazy for legendary raids, coupling the fact that it was so fun going around with my friends to do raids to try to get ourselves the perfect legendary. So, yep, I was able to do a crazy number of legendary bird raids, 1,033, yeah, during the first few months of legendary raids being released. And I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun times with my crew, with my team, with my group to actually do all this together. Of course, not forgetting the fact that I still traveled to so many places like Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur, to visit the community there. Thanks to people like Isaac, who has been a really awesome buddy, to introduce me to his community, and that was when we actually became really close friends. For me to actually go over to his country, his city, to play Pogo with his friends and spend a lot of time together playing Pokemon Go, talking about Pokemon Go, and of course doing legendary raids together. So there was so many like moments that was so crazy for me and my group. We going after like absurd number of legendary raids, not forgetting the fact that we were so nervous, so tensed up when we were trying to catch our 100% Pokemon. But whenever we get it, of course, the satisfaction is just truly amazing. So those are the moments that I always remember, whether is it me getting 100% or whether is it my friends getting 100%, we are always congratulating each other. And at that point of time, I would set small goals for me and my group. We would try to do like an average of 40 to 50 raids per day, legendary raids per day. And over the time, I would try to target like to do 1,000 legendary raids, which was the very first one that happened was Raikou. That was the medium goal that I set for myself. Eventually, I was telling myself that I need to get 100% IV for each and every legendary. So that was another bigger goal that I set for myself. I know a lot of you guys would be asking yourself like, why do you guys not feel motivated anymore to play the game? Or why do I feel so motivated to play a game like Pokemon Go? It's because I always set goals for myself, whether is it through catches or through legendary raids or through Stardust or through XP. Basically, I set different goals each time. Goals are very important for you to achieve something higher, whether is it for yourself or is it for someone else. All I can say is set goals and eventually you will go to greater heights. So another time that I went really crazy for XP was during November 2017, where it was the Global Catch Challenge and there was double XP event for 10 days. And that was the time that I gained a total of 41 million XP. And I was telling myself that I wanted to do 30 million XP during that event, as I was trying to do around 50 legendary raids per day. Eventually I pushed myself and my team even harder, and yeah, I managed to do 41 million XP during that 10 days event. And those are the times that me and my team, we will play really, really hard, and we will push ourselves even harder because it's double XP and it's an event, so we might as well play harder during events, and we could play a bit less during normal days, or in fact after events we could slow down a bit and we would still be way ahead than if we were to play just an average of 50 raids a day during an event. So normally during events, I know a lot of people push harder, and yeah, me, myself and my team, we all push way harder than what we normally do. We would not just go at 100% pace, but sometimes even up to 150% pace, which is going to be quite intense and quite tiring for myself, since I'm the one who's usually driving and navigating and planning the route, etc. But all I can say is I enjoy all that moment that I go after those raids with my team, especially those raids that we made it in just a few seconds left. So after the legendary bees raids were over, trainer tips, Nick, he actually messaged me saying that he was going to come to Singapore at the end of December, which was when he also came over to have a good time here with us. And I showed him around, showed him how we do our raids. During that point of time, it was the release of Groudon, and we wanted to go ham for Groudon because we know that Groudon is a very good Pokemon to go after. And that was the point of time he was also documenting how me and my team, we were playing the game. And when he released the video in January 2018, everything blew up. A lot of people realized how I was playing the game, how efficiently me and my team are playing the game. A lot of people were following our footsteps and even dropping me messages on Twitter and Instagram, thanking me for showing them the methods of how I actually raid. And that was the time, a lot of people, they were able to do even more raids after realizing that I was doing this thing called tap and go. And if you do not know what tap and go is, well, just watch my previous video, as I did show a bit of how I did it. That was the time that I played really, really hard, especially after Kyogre was released. When Kyogre was released, just one day before Kyogre was released, I did not know how good Kyogre was. It was only until Isaac from Kuala Lumpur, we were on the phone and he was talking to me and he was asking me what's my plan for Kyogre? Am I gonna do more than 1,000 raids? And my answer to him was, is this Pokemon good? Because to be honest, I only played the main series Gen 1.5. Alright, so I only played Generation 1 and 2, but I did not complete Generation 2 at all. So I did not know how good Kyogre was at all until he told me that, hey, Kyogre is like the best water type Pokemon throughout all the generations up to Generation 7. Then I'm like, really? So okay, eventually I made plans with my team on the day that Kyogre was released, saying to them that, hey, let's all go ham for Kyogre, because Kyogre is a very, very strong Pokemon. Indeed, it is. I have no regrets going after so many Kyogres. And at that point of time, I was telling myself that let's just go crazy for Kyogre. And after doing almost 1,000 Kyogre raids, I managed to get myself a couple 200% actually. That was the time that it was also very stressful for me, because I managed to get my very first 100% Kyogre after doing 808 Kyogre raids. Yep, after playing for 3.5 weeks, not seeing a 2328 CP Kyogre. Yep, it was pretty stressful, but some of my friends who were in the car, they already got themselves like 2, 3, even 4 100% Kyogres, but I was still left with 0 Kyogres at that point of time. They felt a bit guilty also, getting themselves 100%, but me putting in like so much work, so much effort, and not getting myself 100% at all, they felt a bit bad. But that's just part of the game. It's just RNG, or random number generator, which kind of sucks sometimes. But nevertheless, I still push through, and yep, this is the result that I've gotten after pushing through even more Kyogre raids. So it was also after a few months of X-Raid being released that I finally got my first ever X-Raid pass on the 7th of February 2018. At that point of time, when I got the pass, I was like feeling, oh, finally. Because after doing more than like 6,000 raids, to finally get the X-Raid pass just felt as if it was a slap on my face, saying that, we're not gonna give you the pass if you're gonna do so many raids, Brandon. Yeah, we'd rather give the pass to someone else. I'm happy that other people are getting the passes, but I think I've done too many raids to have not gotten the X-Raid pass way earlier. So basically, any other X-Raids that I went after that was just accompanying my friends to go after the X-Raids. To me, Mewtwo wasn't the biggest or best Pokemon in my opinion. So it was during the Legendary Week from the 5th to 16th of March 2018 that I hit 400 million XP, and that was the time that it was really, really crazy, because I had few people from overseas, from Poland, from Austria, from Australia, from wherever the world, who actually came over to play Pogo with me. It was really, really fun to have people from all over the world coming over to Singapore, contacting me, saying that they want to join me to do raids or play Pokemon GO here in Singapore. I was always welcoming to have anyone to join me, whether they are from overseas or whether they are from Singapore. My team and I were always accommodating, and we always welcome them to join us. So during the 11 days of double XP event, I managed to do a total of 48 million XP, and that was the time I was telling myself, okay, this is just pretty crazy. And it was because it was Rayquaza and it was double XP that I decided to go ham. During that period, I was basically doing raids from 6 AM to 9:30 PM every day. For 11 days straight, I was basically doing the first to the last raid every single day. And after doing raids, I would actually hit the grind spot from 10:30 PM to around 12:30 AM. And I'll go back and sleep for around 4.5 hours before I start the next day again. So it was a very, very crazy and tense period at that point of time, but nevertheless, like I said, during events we would push a bit harder. During normal days, during normal raid days, we would normally start our day at 11 AM, sometimes even 1 PM, and we would do to the last raid around 9:30 PM every day. So we are raiding for an average of around 9.5 hours to 10 hours every day. Of course, you have to minus time for lunch and dinner. Yes, we do eat, we do sleep also. We are humans and not robots. I myself am a human being too. After doing a total of 1,315 Rayquaza raids, breaking my record for Raikou and also Kyogre, that was the point of time that I decided to slow down in the game a bit, here and there. but not until the extent that I gave up playing the game. So it was back in May 2018 when Chicago Go Fest 2018 was announced, which was going to be held from the 13th to 15th of July. And obviously I was interested to go, and obviously I was going to make plans way earlier to go for it. And on the 20th of May 2018, I managed to hit 500 million XP. So yep, we managed to hit 500 million XP after playing the game for like almost 2 years. So eventually, you know, I still went to Malaysia from time to time. Every month I would go to Malaysia like maybe once or twice to hang around with the community, to play Pogo with the community there, as you guys will see from the photos that we have taken over there with Isaac. And then it was after 11 months of legendary raids being introduced that I managed to do a total of 10,000 legendary raids. And that was the point of time that I felt like, okay, it's pretty crazy to do so many legendary raids, but that's not gonna stop, because my friends and I, we still enjoy doing it, and we were still going to go hard on the legendary raids. And a lot of my friends, they also wanted to get some of the 100% for the legendary raids as well. So at that point of time, I was primarily focusing on 3 legendary Pokemon, if you guys noticed so far. It's basically Rayquaza, Raikou, and Kyogre, because these 3 are the most important legendaries in my opinion, until future legendaries are being released. So another 7 days of double XP event came on the 10th of July 2018, and that was just before Go Fest, if I remember correctly, and I managed to do 24.6 million XP. It was a very chill event, I must say. It's not as crazy as the 11 days Rayquaza double XP event. And then when I went to Go Fest 2018, that was when I managed to meet for the first time Secret League and so many other new people whom I've never met before. I had a really great time at Chicago Go Fest 2018. In fact, I had a way better time back in 2018 than in 2017, just because I got to meet people who are in the verified 40 club, and also people whom I've known for a couple of years already in the game, and of course the other YouTubers whom I've met during that year. So I enjoyed myself a lot in the year 2018, and that was also the year I decided to go for a tour around America, a 30 days tour to go to 11 different cities to visit the communities, as you guys will see from all the screenshots over here, ending my last trip in Canada, Toronto, for a verified 40 meetup. And yep, that was also the time that I learned about how different it is to play in different cities. That there were cities that were way easier to play in than in Singapore, and of course there were some places that I've been to that were quite rural, and they didn't have a lot of Pokestops and Pokemon and gyms as compared to Singapore. So that's when I learned that different playgrounds yields you different results. And of course, through videos like Trainer Tips video, where he showed in Africa they do not have access to a lot of Pokestops or gyms, it came to my realization that, you know, yes, Pokemon is not fair, but how much is it not fair? And it's only me experiencing like all these places, then I realized that, wow, it can be really, really different, especially when you go to places like Toronto, where it's a very crazy place to play Pokemon Go. So eventually I hit 600 million on the 13th of August with King in Toronto, as we were grinding during the Community Day event. EV Community Day event, I remember it very clearly, as it was 2 days, and I spent the first day walking with the community and the second day being in the bus, in the van with King and the rest. At the end of August, I went to Yokosuka for the event in Japan, and that was also when I met with a lot of the Japanese top players, again, new ones also, example like Piro, like Black Caterman, and also of course Kubo Yen, but Kubo Yen at that point of time, he kind of slowed down in the game already. But nevertheless, you know, we still meet up every year, like I say. And then eventually when I came back to Singapore in September, Mewtwo was released, and that was the Ultra month bonus, where we were able to raid Mewtwo for 1 full month without the Shadow Ball. And after playing Mewtwo for just 8 days, yep, you guys should all know that my account was suspended. So when I received the suspension notice, I was a bit stunned. I was like, what is this all about? I didn't exactly know what it was, and I decided to email to Niantic. They replied me in just less than 5 minutes, explaining to me the reason why I was suspended, and they decided to suspend my account for 30 days. So at that point of time, I was feeling like, okay, cool, but the moment that I got suspended, I was still raiding in the morning. It was 8 a.m. in the morning, and me and my team, we have already done like 28 raids in 2 hours, and we were thinking to go after a record on that day. However, after the notice came in and I couldn't log in the game at all, my friends were telling me to stop and go back home and just rest. However, I told them, let's just give it a bit of time and let's see what's going to happen. So I decided to still just continue to raid with them. For the next 4 hours, I went on to just bring them around to still raid. And they constantly kept asking me to just go back and rest, this and that, because I was pushing myself really, really hard at that point of time. For 8 days, I was basically doing first to last raid for every day. And then I was telling myself that I was going to go ham for 30 days of Mewtwo to just basically do first to last raid. The reason why I got suspended was because of the Mewtwo services that I was providing. I was catching Mewtwo for people. And at that point of time, you know, a lot of people were messaging me and asking if I was okay, if I was still going to come back to the game, this and that. People from the Verified 40 Club, people from overseas, they were messaging me asking if I was okay. And at that point of time, I was feeling down, obviously. I couldn't play the game that I love to play every single day. However, since that happened, I decided to do other stuff. I went out to watch movie. I went out to hang around with my friends who do not play Pogo. And of course, still hang around with my friends who play Pogo. I decided to try out other games like Jurassic World, Alive, and even Ingress. Eventually, I dropped those games after trying it out for just 2 days, because they are not my cup of tea. The puzzling thing is that a lot of people felt that the suspension was a bit unjustifiable because of the fact that, you know, Niantic kind of knows me and I kind of know Niantic, because back at Chicago Go Fest 2018, they actually interviewed me. So I know a lot of you guys do not know this story, but I'm going to tell you guys now. So basically, just 2 months before the suspension, yes, I was at Go Fest in July 2018, and I was asked by Niantic to be interviewed. They wanted to interview me, and yes, I was interviewed for an hour and a half. I spent 1.5 hours answering their questions, etc. over camera, but none of those footage were released. However, you know, at a point of time when Niantic had contact with me, they could possibly have come up to me and say, hey Brandon, you know what you're doing isn't right. Could you stop whatever that you're doing on your social media? I will be cool with it. I'll just listen, and I definitely will stop whatever that I am doing. And I know some of you guys already know that I've been doing all these services ever since the game was released in the year 2016. However, Niantic has never said anything to me. They could have gone through different mediums to actually get in contact with me to tell me to stop what I'm doing. However, that was the route they decided to choose, and all I can say is, so be it. But nevertheless, you know, I came back to the game after not playing for a month, and I decided to live stream, which I know a lot of you guys have been on the live stream, have watched my live stream, and I'd like to thank you guys for all those time that you guys have spent with me on the live stream, for me to show you guys how I grind, how I raid, how I gain XP. And that was the time that I was playing really, really hard. I was grinding really, really hard, trying to hit the cap every single day, and it was tough. So that was the time I was trying to grind to 700 million XP. And yes, I was not only trying to go after XP goals, I was also trying to go after Stardust goal. I was trying to grind for 100 million Stardust, which eventually I did reach it. But nevertheless, I managed to hit 700 million XP on the 3rd of December 2018. Mainly through grinding, because like I said, I was trying to go after 100 million Stardust goal, and the most efficient way of gaining Stardust is to grind to catch Pokemon and to hatch eggs. That was the time that, you know, I kind of wanted to slow down on the grind because it was just so tiring. But nevertheless, I still continued. I still went on to do other stuff, like I went on to do research tasks, which was also another different aspect of the game. And then eventually, after all that grinding, I managed to hit 800 million XP on the 11th of February 2019. So it was in April 2019 where there's a safari zone here in Singapore, and a lot of people from overseas, from America, from Australia, from wherever the world came over to Singapore, and that was also another crazy yet fun event for me and my team, where we were hosting so many people, bringing them around to do raids and to do whatever activity. It was just 1 month after that, on the 25th of May, that I managed to hit 900 million XP during the double XP event for raids. Can't even remember what event that was, to be honest. But yes, I did struggle a bit from 800 to 900 million XP. That last remaining 100 million XP, I knew I was going to just go ham for the 100 million XP, yet I was going to do it in a different style. Because for that last remaining 100 million XP, I was traveling a lot. I went to Chicago Go Fest 2019, where I went there to meet so many awesome people, and that was also the time that I started doing YouTube again. Eventually, I went to Japan for the event, after traveling to Indonesia to meet so many awesome trainers to experience how they play the game, not forgetting Australia. Before, like I said, I went to Japan, to Yokohama for the event, for Go Fest 2019 Yokohama. And then I went to the Philippines. And then right now, I'm back home here in Singapore. So, of course, for me to hit 1 billion XP here in Singapore, it makes the most sense. So, I'm going to show you guys the clip of me hitting my 1 billion XP here in Singapore with my community and my friends. Enjoy.
See the XP now. Does it go above? Oh no! Actually, just kidding lah. I'm still 8,000 away lah. Yes! Haven't yet lah. Still got 8,000. Hi, you're so anxious. Haven't yet lah. See, another 8,000 lah. Hi. Isaac, got so many Pokemon to catch, oh?
Catch already?
Yeah, why
Oh, you're not catching
I cannot catch already, yeah.
What happened to your Go Plus?
Too much XP, bro. See? Oh my god. Cannot catch already. Oh, alright. It's finally time to hit the ultimate goal here in Pokemon GO. 999,999,999 XP is what I'm gonna hit. And I'm just 5,000 XP away from hitting that. So while everybody is in there having food and also drinks, I'd like to share how am I feeling right now. Basically, I'm feeling pretty nervous, also at the same time excited. Nervous because, well, I'm not too sure how is it gonna be like if I screw up the number. Although I have everything planned out, I have already hatched all my eggs. None of my eggs are being incubated. I've also removed all my best friends and also ultra friends and great friends whom I'm gonna go up in friendship level just in 1 day's time. I've even removed the people like trainer tips because we are 1 day away from hitting best friends, but I don't want, you know, either one of us to screw up the friendship because that has happened before. But nevertheless, let's go and get that big number.
How are you feeling, Brandon?
Very nervous, want to touch my chest and... I am nervous.
I have to call
No joke.
Better get ambulance.
No joke, I am nervous.
How do you feel that history is about to be made?
I don't know, just really nervous now because I'm very close to hitting my 1 billion XP. Maybe it may not be 1 billion, it's going to stop at 9999999. Yeah. I'm getting even more nervous now as I'm talking, you know. Oh my god. Yeah, so history is about to be made with everybody here. Hi guys. Yeah, in front of here, 1 billion XP. I think it's wrong, and it's wrong.
I'm asking you, you said don't know, so I do 1 billion.
I told you I'm stopping at 9999999. Yeah. So anyway, it is 9:09 PM now.
Oh.
Yep, it's time to use a lucky egg. My last and final lucky egg for you, Niantic. Yes, I'm gonna use it. Yeah, just cause. And I'm gonna wait just a few more seconds because we're gonna evolve at 9:10. The very last Pokemon that I'm ever gonna evolve, probably.
Evolve a shiny one.
No, cannot. My shiny very valuable. You see, the shiny cannot. It's too valuable. Yeah, it's too valuable.
Since when Brandon anything cannot?
Just started only yesterday. So okay, it is 9:10 p.m. Here we go. I'm gonna evolve this PG that I got from Malaysia, from KL, because it is a perfect 100% IV PG, which I may max out. So here we go. Eat XP, drink Stardust. Okay! There it is. Okay. My heart is still like pounding so much. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Music right now.
Okay. Let's see. Level 41. Here we go. 1000 XP. Level up. Come on. Ta-da! Yes. And with that, I am finally done with the grind for now. Yeah, I'd just like to thank every one of you who has been part of this grind, whether is it through Best Friend XP, Ultra Friend XP, Raid XP, or whatsoever. But most importantly, to be honest, this number doesn't mean anything because what's more important is the friendship that I gained to meet you guys, to know about you guys. It's always been fun, right? I think without her, I think this I would have fallen asleep in the car already. It has been a wonderful journey, and all I can say, if I need to do this again with you guys, I'll definitely do it again. To another billion. Okay, anybody want to join me for another billion? Okay, let me see.
Cat lah, press lah.
There's a cat one.
If you press,
Yes, you can how much digit you press right, suddenly the target doesn't work anymore. I think they never access how to hit the digit, the 9 digit. Unless they
Let's find out. Drum roll, please.
Great warning.
Oh, that's it.
No, you auto reset to
Well, I'm sure some of you might still be wondering, does the number go above 999, 999, 999? To be honest, does it really matter? Does it really matter whether does it go above that number or not? Because for me, the most important thing right now is to spend time with the community, to spend time with my friends, to spend time with people who wants to play the game and love to play the game. That's why I'm not really too bothered about whether it goes above that number or not, and neither should you guys. So all I can say is I truly enjoyed my time playing the game for the last 3 years playing Pokemon GO because of all the time that I have spent with my friends and also the community. I would dare say that if it's not because of the company of my friends and if it's not because of the community, I would have quit the game a long time ago, way before even I was suspended for 30 days. So the very first time that I felt really burnt out was back when I hit 200 million XP. I kind of almost wanted to quit the game at that point of time, and I remember very clearly it was Suicune. It was Suicune raids during that period, and I wanted to quit the game because of 3 reasons. 1, I was burnt out because I hit a huge goal, 200 million XP. Second, because it was Suicune. It was just a very boring raid boss to go after. And third of all, because I broke up with my girlfriend at that point of time. So I decided to stop playing the game for a total of 5 days. I went overseas. I didn't want to touch the game at all. And yep, for 5 days, I did not catch a single Pokemon. I did not do a single raid. Neither did I spin a single Pokestop at all. Eventually, I came back to the game at a point of time when I hit 800 million XP. I was very demoralized because it was so tiring. During that point of time when I hit 800 million XP, I did tweet out saying that I was low on motivation to play the game, but my friends were still encouraging me to like carry on, etc. because I was so close to hitting 1 billion XP. And thankfully, I, managed to overcome all that. And the best option for me at that point of time was not to play Pokemon GO in Singapore anymore, but to travel around to meet different people in different community. That's why I decided to go for such a long vacation, to travel around for 2.5 months, to visit communities, to play Pokemon GO, and also to capture the moment, to document everything on YouTube, to show the whole world how it's like to play Pokemon GO in different countries. Don't worry, I am also going to travel to a lot more different places, even though I've hit my ultimate goal, as I still want to visit a lot more communities as we speak. So all I can say is, from all this experience I have gained, the most is probably the friendship and the community time that I've spent with them, and also not forgetting that I've explored certain places that I've never thought that I would go to, different countries that I've thought that I would never go to. Places like Indonesia and Philippines, those were like the first time that I've ever been there, and it's because of Pokemon GO. That's why I decided to travel there. For me to play Pokemon GO here in Singapore, grinding and raiding so much, my road knowledge and also my memory to remember stuff improved tremendously, I must say. And this game is not just a game, it is also a social game where you get to meet people, you understand human behavior a lot more on a deeper level, I must say. And to me, Pokemon GO is not just a game. It is a gaming app according to the App Store, but to me, it is a gaming app, it is a lifestyle app, it is a health app, and it's also a social app. It is in turn like changing your lifestyle to go according to whatever the game wants you to do. Of course, it depends on you whether you want to make that choice to do that. And also, it clocks the distance of how much you walk per day or per hour or whatsoever. So in a way, it's like a health app. And it's a social app because you go around to meet people, not in an app, but in real life when you meet them at raids, at gyms, at whatever events. That's why I've always felt that it is actually a social app also. So I know a lot of you guys might be dying to see my stats by now, so I'm going to show you guys my stats together with my Pokemon that you guys want to see also. So yep, I'm going to show you guys my medals first of all. If we look through the very first medal that I have, the Go Fest Chicago 2017 to Yokohama 2017. To Go Fest again 2018 Chicago, Yokosuka, Safari Zone, Sentosa, Singapore, Safari Zone April 2019, and then Chicago Go Fest 2019, and then I'm not supposed to get this at all because my friend sent me an invite, but I did not go for it. I was in Indonesia, so I did tweet about it and ask Niantic to remove it. However, it's still here. And Yokohama 2019, which you guys should have seen the video of it already. And my jogger medal, 14,151 distance clocked. My Kanto medal, my catches, 695,933 catches. And then my evolutions, 100,676. My breeder, 8 hatches, 30,259. Pokestop spun, 613,553. All the other medals, I'm just gonna scroll through them for you guys to see, and just talking about the ones that are more important, like Champion 2,931. That's basically where I gain my XP from. Of course, legendary rates 14,494. My Berry Master 300 over 1,000. All those medals that I'm just showing to you guys do not really give a lot of XP other than this. Idol 361. I'd like to say thank you to all my best friends for putting in the effort to open my gifts, and also for sending me gifts to be able to reach this number. My trades, my pilot 25 million, Sinnoh for badge. Okay, my PvP stats not really good. Cameraman 57, lazy to complete it. Purified Pokemon, still working on it. Hero less than halfway through. Just gonna show you guys my typing medals. Alright, just gonna scroll through them for you guys to see because it's just too many, but you guys can get a rough picture on the kind of Pokemon that I'm going after, even the biome that we have here in Singapore. the kind of biome we have, it's mainly water type Pokemon. That's why, you know, my water type Pokemon, the catches is like 160,000 compared to the others, like the ice type meta is at 17,000. If you live somewhere, say in Toronto, your ice type meta will definitely be higher. So I'm gonna show you guys my storage, my Pokemon storage. Gonna scroll through and show you guys my top CP Pokemon. I know a lot of you guys have seen it already through my live streams, etc. But these are all the Pokemon that I basically have powered up throughout my Pogo career. Not forgetting some that I have actually powered up and transferred, and also some that I've powered up, maxed out, and also traded to people. I would dare say that I've spent roughly 55 million Stardust to power up Pokemon for me to use, and also 55 million Stardust on Pokemon that I powered up for PvP, so that's 110 million Stardust to power up Pokemon that I use. So these are my shiny Pokemon. Alright, scrolling through them really slowly, as you guys could take your time to see. But 748 shiny Pokemon, and I have transferred many of them also. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that I did spend around 12.5 million Stardust to power up Pokemon, maxed out Pokemon, to trade to people also. So that's probably around a total of 130 million Stardust spent in my entire Pogo career. And considering the fact that I still have that amount of Stardust left, I really do not know what am I going to use the remaining Stardust for. And these are my 100% Pokemon, 100% IV Pokemon, a lot of them. I know I'm just scrolling through to show you guys, but these are all my 100 IV Pokemon. I still probably would have quite a few more had I not transferred some of them. Yes, I do transfer away 100% IV legendaries. These are my 100% IV legendary Pokemon, 56 of them. And then if you look at PvP Pokemon, these are all my PvP Pokemon. Just put a dot, and then I sort by CP. We start with Master League all the way down to Ultra League and even to Great League. All these are PvP Pokemon. Alright, and if you were to type exclamation at move, these are basically all the Pokemon that I have unlocked the second charge move for, 358 of them. Okay, and to show you guys my Pokédex, I've not completed my Pokédex at all. I've seen 485 Pokemon and caught 471, and also just showing you guys some of the Pokemon with crazy number of catches and Pokemon seen. Yep, 12,000 readers caught. Let's check out the Rattata. 42,000. Okay, so basically, you know, for me, I don't really bother to complete the Pokédex at all. Smeagol, I've not even caught it yet because I don't really bother about that Pokemon, and even some other Pokemon like Ninjask. Yep, I just didn't bother to get them. So I'm just going to show you guys my legendary count, starting from Articuno, 269 Sin, Zapdos 376 Sin, Moltres 357 Sin, Mewtwo 793 Sin. It could have reached 2,200 Sin or maybe even 2,500 Sin had I not get the 30-day suspension. But that's what it is. Raikou 1,156. Entei 1,091, Suicune 484, that's how much I don't like Suicune. Lugia 773, Ho-Oh 843, more than Suicune. And I'm gonna show you guys the most insane one. Regirock, yay, 161. Regice 468. Registeel 571, 1,051 for Latias, Latios 681, Kyogre 1,722. Like I said, I love Kyogre a lot. Groudon 841, Rayquaza 1,611, Jirachi obviously won. Deoxys, I did a few in a couple of days because it has been out for a couple of days, 45. Cool, and some of those Sinnoh Pokemon that I've not completed, even, you know, Garchomp I've not even gotten, so those are the kind of Pokemon that I don't really bother. Uxie 255, Azelf, my friend traded to me when I was in Go Fest Chicago, and Dialga 268, Palkia 186, Heatran 153, Giratina 390, Cresselia 202, and 2M Melton. Yep, I don't really bother. And Melmetal, okay, 2 for PvP. So yep, that's basically what I have done for the last 3 years. And 3 years is a really long time, I must say. So those are all my stats and whatever that I'd like to show you guys after hitting my 1 billion XP or 999,999,999 XP. I would like to extend a huge thank you to my friends here in Singapore, especially to Auntie Gladys, to Anne, and also to Leo for being around with me, doing so many raids. And without you guys, I don't think I'll be here today right now talking about this experience. And also not forgetting my really good friend Isaac from Malaysia, who has been giving me so much motivation and of course talking about Pogo so much that, you know, we always talk about strategies, how to actually like improve the game and also be efficient during certain events. And also I'd like to thank the Verified 40 Club for having me in the club and also giving awesome ideas to improve the way I play the game also. And many of you guys have been a true inspiration to me to play the game even harder. People like King, people like Steve, people like everyone that I've met throughout this journey. And also to the 100 million club people, I'd like to say thank you to you guys also. You guys are truly amazing, truly hardcore individuals who have played the game to 100 million. Obviously, that's why you are in the club. And you guys make me push the game and myself even harder. And also to trainers that I've met along the way, whether you guys, you know, met me through an event or met me through whatever circumstances, I'd like to thank you guys through the grind, through the raid, through whatever experience. Thank you very much for that. And also to the Pokemon Company for making such an awesome game. Thank you very much for making Pokemon GO and also Pokemon such an awesome game. Truly appreciate it. So now the biggest question is, what is next for me? What am I gonna do? Whether am I still gonna push more XP? Well, I'm not sure if I can still push any more XP. Whether am I gonna do any other things? Yes, I do have other goals set. If you want to know them, don't forget to follow me on my social media and Instagram. It's always been there on my bio. As for YouTube, yes, I do have big goals for YouTube. I want to showcase to the world how different countries, different cities play the game, and also how I play the game, not only here in Singapore but also in different countries, showcasing different people with different crazy stats, etc. And perhaps even grow my YouTube channel to reach to greater heights, whether it's 200,000 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers, or even 500,000 or even 1 million subscribers. Let's try to go for that. So if you guys want me to hit that goal faster, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Anyways, I'd like to end off this video with just last 2 messages. Having the highest XP in the world doesn't mean that I am the best player. I am not the best trainer in the world. I'm just one who has no life, who grinds a lot. But I enjoy the grind, I enjoy everything, but I do have, you know, a vast knowledge in the game. That doesn't mean that I'm the best player in the game. There's still a lot of great trainers out there. And definitely, I would like to learn from you guys. And hopefully, I'm able to share something for you guys to learn as well. So another thing I'd like to say, just a quote that I'd like to say to every one of you guys. Don't be lazy, be crazy. If you are not crazy, you are not playing Pokemon GO. Alright, so that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.